Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Easy Chat English Podcast. I'm Amelia. Today, we've got a really special topic that I think a lot of you will find both interesting and relaxing. We're going to talk about village life. Whether you've lived in a village or have just visited one, it's a world so different from city life. And joining me, as always, is my amazing co-host, Ethan.
Hi, everyone. I'm really excited about today's episode because village life is close to my heart. I grew up in a small village, and I have so many fond memories of it. So, let's dive in.
So, let's start with an easy question. What is village life? I think for a lot of people, especially those who live in the city, a village seems like a completely different world, right?
Exactly. Villages are typically found in rural areas, away from the hustle and bustle of cities. They're known for being tranquil or peaceful, with lots of countryside around. I think the first word that comes to mind when I think of my village is simplicity. Life there is really simple.
I agree. And there's also a strong sense of community spirit in villages. Everyone knows everyone, and people help each other out. It's such a close-knit environment compared to cities, where people sometimes don't even know their neighbors.
That's so true. I remember growing up, if someone in the village had a problem, like a broken fence or a sick animal, the whole village would pitch in to help. It's that tradition of taking care of each other that makes village life so unique.
Yeah, there's a lot we can learn from that. It's nice to slow down sometimes and enjoy that kind of life. Let's get into more detail about what daily life in a village is like.
So what does daily life in a village look like? Well, for one, the day usually starts early, especially if you're involved in farming.
Farming. That's a big part of village life, isn't it? Villages often have a lot of farmland, and many people there rely on self-sufficiency, meaning they grow their own food or raise animals. I remember visiting a village when I was younger and seeing families grow their own vegetables and have livestock like chickens and cows. It's a way of life that's very connected to the land.
Exactly. My grandparents had a small farm, and we'd wake up early to help with the harvest or take care of the animals. We'd also go to the local market to sell some of the fresh produce. You don't find that kind of connection to the land in cities.
Yeah, in the city, we just go to the supermarket, right? But in villages, people know where their food comes from because they grow it themselves. It's one of those simple pleasures of life. And I have to say, the taste of fresh food straight from the farm is incredible.
It really is. It's so fresh and natural. But village life isn't just about farming. There's a lot of outdoor activities too, which brings us to our next topic, nature.
Nature is such a huge part of village life, isn't it? I mean, you're surrounded by natural beauty, from greenery to mountains or rivers. The air is so clean and fresh, and you really feel connected to the world around you.
Absolutely. In the village I grew up in, we were close to the forest, so we'd often go on hikes or just walk around and enjoy the peace and quiet. And you can really notice the seasonal changes, from spring flowers to the leaves falling in autumn.
That sounds amazing. And don't forget the wildlife. I remember seeing so many different animals when I visited villages. Deer, birds, even the occasional fox.
Yes, wildlife is everywhere, and it's such a normal part of life. You learn to respect nature in a way that's different from city life. And because you spend so much time outdoors, you really appreciate things like fresh air and just how calming nature can be.
I think we could all use a little more time in nature. But village life isn't just about nature and peace, it's also about people. Let's talk about the community aspect next. One of the things that always stands out to me about village life is how much more social it is compared to city life. People are always having gatherings and celebrations.
Yes, in the village we had so many festivals and social gatherings like weddings and even harvest festivals. The whole village would come together at the community center or someone's house, and it was always so much fun.
It sounds like everyone is very hospitable too. I've heard stories where if you visit someone's house in a village, they'll always offer you food or a cup of tea, no matter what.
Yes, hospitality is a huge part of village life. People are always ready to lend a helping hand. If someone's roof needs fixing or someone's cow wandered off, the neighbors would come over to help. It's that sense of shared responsibilities that keeps the community so close.
That's something you don't see as much in cities. It must feel really comforting to be part of such a supportive group. But village life isn't always perfect. Let's discuss some of the challenges now.
Like any place, living in a village has its challenges. One of the biggest issues is limited access to services. For example, in some remote areas you might have to travel far to get to a hospital or a big supermarket.
Yeah, I can imagine. I've heard that in some villages, there's also limited infrastructure like public transportation. If you don't have a car, it can be tough to get around.
That's true, and during the winter, some villages get completely isolated due to snow or bad weather. People have to be prepared for these situations.
That sounds difficult, and let's not forget the lack of entertainment options. Unlike in the city, where you can go to a cinema or a mall, villages might not have those things.
Yes, it's a slower pace of life, and for some people that's a challenge. But for others, it's part of the charm. You find entertainment in different ways, like spending time with family, reading, or enjoying nature.
Living in a village definitely affects who you are. I think it gives you a different perspective on life.
It does. Growing up in a village taught me the value of hard work and self-reliance. You learn to do things yourself, whether it's fixing something in the house or taking care of the animals.
I've heard that village life also teaches you humility and a deep respect for nature.
Absolutely. You see firsthand how dependent we are on nature and each other. It gives you a strong sense of belonging and makes you grateful for the simple things in life.
So, let's talk about the balance between village and city life. Many people, including myself, enjoy visiting villages but live in cities. What are your thoughts on balancing the two?
I think it's great to have a blend of both worlds. The conveniences of city life, like access to healthcare, education, and entertainment, are important. But having a connection to the village allows you to slow down and appreciate the pros of a simpler life.
It's about finding that balance. You can enjoy the fast-paced, exciting city life while also taking time to experience the peace and tranquility of the countryside. And with that, we've come to the end of today's episode. I hope you all enjoyed hearing about village life and picked up some new words and phrases along the way.
Yes, village life offers a lot of valuable lessons. Whether you live in a village or visit one, there's so much to appreciate, from the natural beauty to the sense of community.
Thank you for joining us, and we hope you'll think a little more about how you can embrace simplicity in your own lives, wherever you live. Don't forget to follow us for more interesting topics and English learning tips. See you next time.
See you next time. Bye, everyone.